So today we will be discussing the pastime of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadramai, and also about the festival of Rathayatra. So yesterday was 14th of July. So yesterday was a very big festival, Rathayatra festival in Jagannath Puri. Every year it is celebrated, and now Srila Prabhupada has taken this grand festival all over the world. It is said that before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the king of Orissa used to celebrate this festival, but it was he and few of his people. They would be doing this Rath Yatra. But after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this festival became very big, and lots of people all over the country, in fact, all over Orissa and even other parts of the country, came to participate in the Rathayatra. And Srila Prabhupada, his greatest contribution, no doubt, is his books. He has taken Krishna to everyone, everywhere in the world, and he also established this grand festival in different parts of the world, different cities. So let's first understand why Rath Yatra is celebrated. What is the significance? What is the mood of the devotees who are participating in the Rath Yatra festival? Many times unless we have the understanding of the festival, it can become a mere ritual. We can do it mechanically. For many people also, to go to Jagannath Puri is somehow pull the chariot. No doubt it's very good. But if we understand the meaning, the deeper meaning, why we are pulling the chariot, what is the significance of it, what is the significance of that act, then we can get into the mood of the festival. Like I was telling earlier, for many people, why Diwali is celebrated? It's an opportunity to burst crackers. Why Holi is celebrated? It's a nice festival. You can put colors, you can socialize, you can eat bhang, you can drink bhang. It's a good thing. But there's a significance to all these festivals. And in fact, in India, most of the festivals what we celebrate, there's a spiritual significance. Even Onam, Diwali, Dashara, Janmashtami, Ramnavami, Narsingha Chaturthi, even other festivals. There's spiritual significance. So it is important that we understand what's the significance of the festival so that we can get into the spirit and celebrate it wholeheartedly with the right understanding. So it's we all know that Akrura, who is Akrura? Akrura. He was a great devotee of the Lord. He was sent by Kamsa to go to Vrindavan and bring Krishna to Mathura. So Akrura came, and then, as we know, there were different demons who were attacking Vrindavan, and there were demons all around. Krishna also in the Gita says, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha duskritam, to destroy the demoniac forces. Dharma sanstapnarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Akrura came and invited Krishna to come to Mathura because Kamsa was becoming very predominant and his demoniac activities were, people were quite disturbed. And Krishna all along was in Vrindavan. He was with, enacting various pastimes, and all the cowherd boys, girls, gopis, they were enjoying the company of Krishna. And Akrura came and invited Krishna and took him to Mathura. So all the gopis, all the cowards men, the women, and all the Brajavasis, they were very, so to say, completely disheartened, or rather very sad that Krishna is no longer with them. Krishna has left them and gone to Mathura. So, so the gopis were always remembering Krishna, always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, always remembering that yes, Krishna used to go to forest like this, used to play like this. So by default, since they were great devotees of the Lord, their mind was always absorbed in thinking of Krishna. So years passed by, and then suddenly they got the news that Krishna is coming to Kurukshetra. It was a time of eclipse, and Krishna from Dwaraka came to Mathura, sorry, Kurukshetra. And even all the Brajavasis, the gopis also went to Kurukshetra. Now, Kurukshetra, as you all know, is a holy place, especially even till date. A lot of people, there is a Brahma Sarovar. A lot of people during the eclipse go there and take bath in that holy pond. So Krishna and all his royal entourage, in chariots, driven by the best of horses, soldiers, the entire entourage had come to Dwarka. And he was dressed in royal robes, like a king of Dwarka, Dwarkadish. And all these Rajavasis also reached Vrindavan, but they were in their typical typical village dress, and also that small carriages. So they parked, and then after many, many years, they had met Krishna. So they were very, very excited. But they saw that this Krishna was different. All along, they could relate with Krishna because Krishna also was like them, like a cowherd boy, dressed like them, one among them, the inhabitants of Vrindavan. But here they saw him as, dressed in royal robes. He has a whole big chariot, and so they were happy to meet him after a long time. Then finally, Radharani met Krishna, and he said that we are the same gopis, you are the same Krishna, and we are also meeting like we used to meet in Vrindavan. But there is a difference. Here in Dwarka, there's a lot of noise of these horses, chariots, elephants, so much big Sena, lot of humdrum of people coming, going. But in Vrindavan, in the forest of Vrindavan, there is a sound of bumblebee, fragrance filled air with all the flowers. I am remembering Vrindavan, how nice it will be if we can again come back to Vrindavan and we can all meet. I'm not able to forget the wonderful pastimes, the wonderful time we have spent together. So Krishna also said that yes, yes, I will definitely come. Whether you believe or not, even I many times cry when I think of the time which I have spent in Vrindavan with all of you, the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Even I am longing to come back, but I'll surely come. He is not saying I am coming. I'll surely come. So it seems at that time all the gopis and all the cowherds men, they gathered around the chariot of Krishna and took the ropes in their hands, and he says, no, you have to come now. We'll take you to Vrindavan. So they held the ropes and they started pulling the chariot of Krishna, wanting him to come now to Vrindavan and be with them. So this festival of Rathayatra is to commemorate this pastime. When we pull the Ratha, we are in the mood of the gopis, where we are trying to bring Krishna. When we pull the Rathayatra, what's Ratha? What is the mood we should have? Yes, Shiviji. What should be the mood? Gopis had devotion to Krishna. We have no devotion. What should be our mood? So it's basically to pull the rod, just like gopis were pulling the Lord and wanting him to come to Vrindavan so that they can always be in his company, enjoy his sweet pastimes. So likewise, when we pull the Ratha also, we want the Lord pull him into our hearts. Right now, although we are Amsha of the Lord, we have forgotten Lord. Although the Lord is residing in our heart, but we have forgotten him. So bring the Lord back into our heart so that we can relish his sweet association. So this Rath Yatra festival signifies that. He didn't go. Did he go? But if we pull with devotion, he'll come. Maybe he had his further pastimes to be performed in Dwaraka. But this mood of the gopis is what is being celebrated in the form of Rath Yatra. So now, uh, this we can understand. Now comes, we see the beautiful deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, which is Krishna, Baladev, and his sister. Balram, Baladev is same. So, how many of us have seen the deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra? May not be in Jagannath Puri, but otherwise. So, Jagannath, does he look like Krishna? Does he look, he has two hands, he has flute, he has legs, standing cross leg. So, how does they look? It's a very different form, big eyes, face. So, what is the pastime? How did the Lord manifest in this form? Why do we have Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra in this form? So, I'm going to share that. So, it seems once there was a king by name Indradimna. He was a great devotee of Lord. He always dreamt that when will the day come when he can have face to face darshan of the Supreme Lord. So one time in his darbar, he was a king, King Indradyumna. A person came and said that Lord Vishnu has personally manifested in the form of a beautiful deity called Neela Madhava. And hearing this, he developed an intense desire that he should go and have darshan of Neela Madhava. But where Neela Madhava is, where he has manifested, no information was given. But a beautiful form of the Lord in the form of Neela Madhava has manifested. That was the information. And Indradyumna wanted to go and have darshan. So he sent all his ministers, qualified brahmanas, his representative in different directions to go and search for Neela Madhava. And also his confident minister, Vidyapati. So they all went in different directions in search of Neela Madhava. and none of them could find Neela Madhav, and they all came back quite disappointed, dejected, except for one. Who was that? Vidyapati. He was not. He was a priest. He was not a minister. He was a priest. So Vidyapati was frantically looking for Neela Madhava, knowing that the intense desire of King Indradyumna to go and have darshan. So he happened to visit a place which was inhabited by tribal people, Shabara tribe. And in search of Neela Madhav, he happened to inquire more about from the inhabitants. People have they seen? Are they aware of something? He happened to go to a particular house. The door was opened by a lady, and this house happened to be the house of the Shabara king, who unfortunately was not there in the house. Anyone knows the name of the Shabara king? His name was Vishwavasu. So Vishwavasu was not there in the house. The door was opened by his young daughter by name Lalita. So she was in a dilemma. Should invite, not invite? She is all alone in the house. Father is not there. Is he the right man? He was dressed like a Brahmana. But in the meantime, Vishwavasu came and told her daughter, please invite this guest inside the home and let's serve him because he is a Brahmana. So, on his advice, she invited him, took good care, served him, and eventually they got to know each other. And on the request of Shabara king, Vishwavasu eventually married Lalita. While he was staying in the house of Vishwavasu, wanting to know more about Neela Madhava, he would daily observe something very strange. In the night time, the Shavara king, Vishwavasu, would leave this house, and next day in the afternoon he would come back. And when he would come back, his body was smeared with sandalwood paste, and you'd be emitting a lot of good fragrance of camphor, of musk. So he's wondering where does he go and what is this all about? So whom to ask? Whom should he ask? So he asked his wife, who is a daughter of him, where is your father going? Something very strange and peculiar thing. Every day he goes in the night and then comes back. So she is not willing to tell anything. She is reluctant. But he kept on pestering. What is this? Tell me, tell me, tell me. After all, she is now married to him. So although she was forbidden not to tell anyone, she reluctantly confided and said, actually there's a deity called Neela Madhava. Every night he goes to worship that deity. So now Vidyapati had come in search of Neela Madhava. So when he got to know he is going to worship Neela Madhava, he became very excited. The purpose for which he had come, now it's going to get fulfilled. So he requested his wife, I also want to go with your father and have darshan of Neela Madhava. So wife says, no, no, he will not allow. It's a very big secret. But he kept on pestering, no, no, why don't you tell your father? Why don't you tell your father? I want to go and have darshan. So again, reluctantly, she pleaded the father. He says he's been pleading, he's been begging me for many, many days now. Why don't you once take him and give him darshan of Neela Madhava? So Vishwavasu was not very happy, but nevertheless, because his daughter was pleading and begging and insisting too much, he said, okay, I will take him, but he will be blindfolded, his eyes will be closed, and I will take him so that he should not know the way, should not know where Neela Madhav is. And then once we reach near the deity, I'll open the eyes, he can have darshan and he can come back. So better than not having darshan is to follow the conditions which were given. So he agreed for getting blindfolded, his eyes were closed. But his wife, knowing that he was so eager to have darshan of Neela Madhav, and maybe by that time he had also shared why he had come to this village, he packed a bag of mustard seed and tied it to his chadar, so that when he is taken to Neela Madhava blindfolded, he can slowly, little by little, drop the mustard seeds. So he did that, and finally he was taken to Neela Madhava. And as soon as they reached the deity, his eyes were open. And when he saw the deity of Neela Madhava, he was so excited, so happy, overjoyed, in ecstasy, he started dancing. Imagine something which you are waiting for many, many years desperately, and suddenly you get that. So he was very excited, very overjoyed, started dancing. And in the meantime, Vishwasu said, I have to go to the forest. You be here, you have darshan. I have to go to the forest to collect some flowers, fruits for offering to the deity. While Vishwasu was off to collect the flowers from the forest, he saw something very unique. He saw at a distance there's a crow which was sitting on the branch of a tree, and that crow, maybe because it was sleeping, fell off from the branch of the tree and fell into that river below the tree. And as soon as the crow fell, he saw four-armed man emanating from there and going towards Vaikuntha. The crow getting liberated, turning into four-hand Vishnuduta form and going towards Vaikuntha. So he also jumped the tree. He also went to the tree and sat on the branch. He also wanted to jump into the river and go to Vaikuntha. Because unlike us, all the people in the earlier times, they had very clear idea as to what's the goal of life. Goal of life is to serve the Lord and go to Vaikuntha. So he also wanted to. In the meantime, Vishwasu came. He said, hey, what are you doing? So he requested him come down. He says, you have come here for a purpose. You can go back and fulfill the purpose for which he has come. And then he heard a voice saying that instead of giving up your life like this, you have come here for a purpose. Go back to King Indradumna and tell him about Neelamadhav. He has come for that. So he came down and then he went back to. In the meantime, when Vishnu started worshipping Neelamadhava, Neelamadhava started speaking. He said, all along you have been worshipping with all these forest flowers and all these fruits which are available in this thing. Now I want to be worshipped by, in a very royal way, by one king called Indradyumna. This is my desire. So when Vishwasu came to know about it, and he also came to know that this person has been sent by Indradyumna, King Indradyumna Vidyapati, he said, now I'll lose the opportunity to worship Neela Madhava. I will not allow him to go to Indradyumna. So he went back home and bound Vidyapati. Will not allow, because if he releases him, he'll go back, meet King Indradyumna, he will be told about Neela Madhav, king will come, and finally he'll be deprived of worship of Neela Madhav. Again, he was in the house, but then the daughter pleaded, Jane do, why are you keeping him bound? So finally, he was released and he went to King Indradumna. So Indradumna, moment he heard about Vidyapati coming and also he getting to know about Neela Madhav, he with his whole battalion of soldiers went to in search of Neela Madhav. And how to find Neela Madhav? Which direction to go? So they followed the track where the mustard plants were there. Finally, they reached the place where Vidyapati had seen Neela Madhav deity, but there was no Neela Madhav there. So the king was very disappointed. He says, where is Neela Madhav? Where is Neela Madhav? So then he heard a voice that you will not find me in Neela Madhava form. You build a temple on Nilachala, on Nila mountains. I will reside there as Daru Brahman. Daru means wood. The absolute Lord or Brahman manifested in the form of Daru, which is wooden form. So you construct a beautiful temple on Nilachala, and I will reside there as Daru Brahmana, and you can worship me in that form. I'll not be manifest in the form of Nilamara. So Indradumna was happy with that. He was a king. So he went there and built a temple. Now, how to get this Daru Brahman, how to get this Nilamadav deity. So he even invited Brahma, Lord Brahma, come and consecrate the temple. So this uh, Nilachala, this mountain, this whole place was called Sri Kshetra. It was the manifestation of internal potency of the Supreme Lord. The Lord was personally present. So Brahma replied, I cannot come and install this Sri Kshetra, its place which is the manifestation of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is personally residing here. I cannot install the deity of Lord here. I can install a flag on the top of the temple, and anyone who sees this flag, anyone who bows down and pays obeisances to this flag, he will get liberated. So Brahma said like that. Now all along he remembered that Nila Madhav, he had heard the voice saying that I will manifest as Daru Brahman. Now not having the Lord in the temple is built. Brahma is also saying, I cannot install, I cannot invite the Lord. Lord is personally present. So he was becoming very anxious. Where is the Lord? Where is Daru Brahman? So seeing that the Lord is not there, he became so dejected. He said, what is the point in living now? So he decided that let me just sit in one place on a kusha grass and let me fast till death. So then he heard a voice, no, 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 king, don't worry. Very soon I will manifest as Daru, the wooden form floating in the ocean, in a place called, anyone knows the name of the place? I'm forgetting the word name. There's a place where the Lord said, I'll manifest as a log floating in the ocean. So Indradumna king, along with his group of close confidants, went to that place. Bani. So went to that place. Then actually they saw a log of wood, daru, floating and which has been washed to the shore of the ocean. And that was not a very ordinary piece of wood, huge piece of wood. And when he saw closely, it had the marks of conch, disc, lotus, and four things: Shanka, Chakra, Gada, and Padma. Lotus, Shanka, conch, Padma, lotus flowers, and then club. So he saw that. Now, so he was very excited to see that log of wood. So he, because huge log of wood, so he tried getting the elephant so that they can take out that log of wood and push it and take it to Nilachala. But that log of wood would not move an inch. So again, he was very disappointed. The Lord has manifested in the form of Daru, but here I am not able to move. Then he heard the voice, the Lord saying that you call Vishwavasu. Who was Vishwavasu? Shabara king who actually was worshipping Nila Madhava. You call him and make a golden chariot. I will come. So Vishwavasu was called. And Vidyapati, who is Vidyapati? The priest of Indrana who had gone actually in search of Nila Madhava. He was also called. And on one side of the chariot, he was there. Vishwavasu was there. Other side, Vidyapati was there. And then they just gave a little push, and the log moved, and somehow they were ready. They were able to place him on the chariot. Now, Daru Brahman has come as per all the things which the king had heard. Now, how to make the deities out of them? So the king ordered for very specialized craftsmen, sculptors who could carve that wood into beautiful forms of deities, beautiful deities. Now, when all these sculptures came and they started touching the wood with chisel or something, the chisel will break. None of them could even do anything with that wood. Finally, Vishwakarma, who is Vishwakarma? Architect of the heavenly planet, all the Devatas. So he came in disguise as an old Brahmana. He said, I will carve the deed. But the condition is all the sculptures you have called, let them be busy making the three Rathas, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Ratha, and let me be there, give me this log of wood, and leave me alone for 21 days. Do not disturb me, and I will carve this into the deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra in 21 days. But the condition is do not disturb, do not open that door, do not come to the place where I am coming. Leave me alone. So king agreed. So he was very anxiously waiting when this 21 days will get over and he can have the darshan of beautiful deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. And every day he was very happily noticing the chiseling work happening. But on the 14th day, he did not hear any work happening. So he became very anxious. What happened to that sculptor? What happened to him? Why did he stop working? So he was so anxious that he wanted to go and see actually work is happening on a where is he? Is he okay? What is the status of the work? But he was forbidden. Do not go. Remember 21 days. He told specifically that do not disturb me for 21 days. Leave me alone. On the 14th day, he actually peeped in and opened the door to see actually what was happening. And when he opened the door, he saw Jagannath, Baldev, and Subhadra in the form which we see now. So their hands were there, but fingers and all that finer carving was not done. So seeing that form and the sculptor who had come, Vishwakarma, in the form of old one, he had left because he had given the condition that allow me for 21 days. So the king felt very bad. See how I became because of my impatience. See now what has happened. The deities are not finished and the sculptor was actually working, he has left. So he was so disgusted with himself, he again wanted to, so to say, fast till death. Then he heard the voice of Jagannath. The Jagannath told him that I am always manifest in this Sri Kshetra in my transcendental form. And through my transcendental form, I can accept all the offerings of. So the Lord does not want, need not have hands and legs like us to accept the offerings, need not have eyes like us to see. It says, Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti. The Lord can do anything and everything with any of his limbs. Just by seeing, he can eat. So he says, I am always manifest and do not worry. I am manifest in this transcendental form. This is the Leela. This is part of my transcendental pastime to manifest in this form as Jagannath. Do not worry. I will accept the offerings of all my devotees. So he was very relieved and very happy to hear this. And he says, if Jagannath also said that if suppose somebody uh, wants to do an Alalankara, they can always make the hands and legs with gold and do all the offerings. I'll accept it. So he was very relieved, and that's how we have the deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra being worshipped in Jagannath Puri. And he also asked a benediction from Jagannath that let your temple be closed only for 3 hours in a day. Why? So that more and more souls can come and have your darshan, and more and more souls can have darshan of the Lord and get benefited and get liberated. So that is one of the conditions. So the Lord said Tathastu. Then he also said that give me also one benediction that whole day you keep on eating. No time your finger should become dry. Tathastu. That benediction also was given. Then he asked one more benediction that let there be no descendants who will own this. After King Indragupta, his descendants and then his descendants, they should not own this temple. So that's how Jagannath Puri temple does not have any descendants, any, so to say, king's descendant claiming to be their property. So that also tathastu. So that's how we have the Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Mai present in a very, very merciful form, benedicting the devotees who come there to have their darshan. Now, during this Jagannath festival, there is something called as Snana Yatra. What is Snana Yatra? Snana, you all understand? Bathing. So, 1 week before the Rathayatra, the Lord is taken for Snana. Snana means bathing. And it seems the Lord, because the water is very cold, he feels very chilly and cold because of the Snana. It seems he develops fever. And when a person gets fever, generally is given rest, and all the visitors are only visiting time are there, visitor hours are there in the hospital, so that nobody disturbs unnecessarily. So for 7 days, it seems nobody can have darshan of Jagannath. The Lord is sick, and only some selected priests are there serving the Lord. And during this period, also some herbal teas and fruits and something healthy food is given. Otherwise, whole year Lord is eating all ghee preparations and so 7 days the Lord is given rest. And after this 7 days, now the Lord is recovered from his sickness. Now he wants to come out and have fresh air, have lot of after 7 days, all ye sukha bhukha jo khaya hai. Now he wants grand feast. So that's when the Lord comes out and mounts this chariot. And the Lord pulling the chariot, this Jagannath temple where the Lord is there as the deity form, represents which place? Represents Kurukshetra or Dwaraka. And the Gundicha temple where the Lord is pulled, the Ratha is pulled, represents Vrindavan. So the pulling of Rath is actually representing all the Brajavasis, all the devotees of Krishna, pulling the Lord in the mode of gopis from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. And during this time, when this Lord is having fever, what are the devotees doing? They are cleaning the Gundicha temple. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a Gundicha Marjana. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally cleaned the whole temple because Lord is coming. It should not be dirty. So the entire temple, top to bottom, is clean so that the Lord is coming. And then this procession comes, the Ratha comes, and all the devotees singing, dancing with lot of kirtans come. And the Ratha comes and stops near the Gundicha temple. So then the Lord stays in Gundicha temple for how many days? 9 days. And then there is something called as Ulta Rathayatra, which is also called Bahuda. When the Lord comes back to Dwarka, comes back to Jagannath temple. So anyone has any question, anything like to ask? So this is a this place is very special. It is one of the the dhams, Dwarka, Mathura, Jagannath Puri, Dameshwaram, and okay. So, and the Lord is present in a very merciful form. In Jagannath Rathayatra, you can hug the Lord, you can touch the Lord, you can actually embrace the deity. Any questions? Anything like to ask? No, Krishna also is accompanied by his associates. Just like any important person, he is not alone. He will have his close confidants, ministers, his near and dear ones. So, how many of us have a desire to go to Jagannath Puri? So, we should plan something. In Jagannath Puri, Rath Yatra, I had once gone. I could not even touch the rope. Every year, few people leave their body, actually die. So crowded, so crowded. It seems you have to once you're in the crowd, you just be there, and then you don't know whether your legs are touching the floor or not. You're in the air somewhere. All around people. Huh? Rope cure many diseases. So it is a lot of lakhs and lakhs of people. Any other question? Why the? So it would be Lord's Leela to manifest in that form. In fact, that's what he told uh, Indilubna Maharaj, that this is part of my transcendental Leela to manifest in this form. See, what happens is Lord has, just like Krishna showed Arjuna as Vishwarupa, he says, if you're not fighting anyway, these are getting killed. So Lord has a higher plan, higher schemes of things. He says, you fight and become a nimit matra. So even the Lord, when He comes, how He descends, what Leela He performs, He is transcendental autocrat. So He, so I didn't get your question. No. Yes. So he Jagannath also mentioned to Indra Maharaj saying that uh, although you see me in this form and you're feeling sorry, but devotees whose eyes are anointed with the love will see me in Shyamasundara form. So do not worry. So Prabhupada says if our heart is like a stone, then we will see the deity as made of stone or made of wood. For a stone hearted man, the deity is stone. For a person who has developed devotion and love for the Lord, the deity is Krishna himself. That also is one of the. We were discussing yesterday with somebody, somebody had come. Why we see in Vrindavan or many holy places, if you go to Vrindavan, there is gutters are open, you see monkeys and pigs there, and kachra all around, and then all that black water flowing into Yamuna. Even the fecal matter is floating there. It is supposed to be dham, the holy dham. And then you go to a place like Singapore. The best of slaughterhouses are there, fully automated, all kinds of जो भी आपके प्रिंसिपल्स हैं बहुत रिस्पेक्टफुली ब्रेक हो रहे हैं बहुत ऑनरेबली ब्रेक हो रहे हैं बट स्पिक एंड स्पैन क्लीन disciplined, well mannered, apparently well cultured people. ऐसा क्यों? धाम which is place of Lord personally residing, सब कचरा बिखा हुआ है वहां पे. And all these places were supposed to be very, nobody is even talking about God. Communist countries apparently are very clean. Why? So it is said that even when we go to Vrindavan, we should not stay more than 3 days. Why? Because when we go initially, we have a lot of dham hai, that initial fire is there. And after 3 days, our mind takes over. ये क्या धाम प्रभु जी बहुत बोले थे धाम है जाएंगे वृंदावन धाम ये तो गटर है यहाँ पे लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं so then our mind takes over. First few days that वो प्रभु जी ने बोला था ना धाम है that is prominent. वो धीरे धीरे नित्य उतरना शुरू and by 3 days it is down and then ये क्या धाम है हमको तो भिगा दिया उन्होंने. So familiarity breeds contempt. Now, why the Lord has sanctioned in this? One of the thing is we have to see dham. This is one filter, so that non-devotees, when they come, who don't have Shastra Chakshu, who do not know the glories of the dham, Krishna doesn't want that place to be full of non-devotees. He wants his devotees to come, be with him, and experience his reciprocation, rejoice with him, experience the dham. So when the non-devotees come, who have not had proper shravanam, who don't have proper understanding of Krishna, when they come, when they see all the kya dham hai, filter out. So when you go there and see not with your material eyes but with Shastra Chakshu, hear the glories of the Dham, be in association of devotees, hear the Leela of the Lord, and then you will be able to relish or experience the transcendental beauty, not material beauty. Outside what we see is material beauty. What we see in Singapore, huge lawns, this thing, beautiful, it's material beauty. Just like you see, material beauty is temporary, it's illusory, it doesn't last. Just like material happiness, it's illusory. So, transcendental beauty will be able to appreciate only when we have proper Shravana. So, this is like a filter. So, when we come to a dham, when we have proper Shravanam, hearing, we are in proper mood, then we'll be able to relish the transcendental beauty of that place. That's how this dham, this is one of the explanations why it is like that. That doesn't mean that we should keep it like that. We should try our best to improve it, but there's a reason why the Lord has sanctioned this. So we'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jagannath Puri ki, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki.